Two humorous nurses would like to acknowledge the true custodians of the land in which we record our podcast, the Yorta Yorta people.
We pay our respects to elders past and present and extend our respects to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islanders listening today. Always was, always will be Aboriginal land.
You done? Two humorous nurses with Kelly and Alisha.
Welcome to the Debrief. This is the debrief that we're doing because we can't be bothered doing an episode. I'm pretty sure we only did a debrief one episode ago.
I think it was was it one or two?
If we don't put this out, we're never gonna have anything out.
Well, it was 3 weeks ago.
I'm pretty sure we're set to record next week.
Look, I deal with it the day before.
Okay.
Monday.
I'll see you next Monday.
Because I have an official ADHD diagnosis. Look out. I tell you what, the relief I felt when she comes in, and it was so good. It was over the first minute that we walked in the room.
You were like, you'll hear from me at 1:30, and at like not even 10 minutes after your appointment, you're like, it's official. I'm like, did you just walk in? She said you have ADHD. Literally, and walk out.
It was like we walked in, we sat down. She's like, so. And I'm like, fucking, she better get on with this. She better not go through all this shit and then get to the end. She's like, so we've been through everything and you do, in fact, have combined type ADHD. And I was like, oh, I could actually breathe. And I felt like my eyes tear up a little bit. And then I was like, pull yourself together, woman. And then that was it. That was the height of emotion that I felt. And I actually thought I would burst into tears and be like hysterically sobbing, but I wasn't. I think because deep down I was so sure.
You knew.
So sure.
Even though you were saying, oh, I don't think. And what if they tell me I don't?
I know.
I'm like, if they tell you don't, you need a reassessment.
Yeah.
They need to lose their job.
I was just so fearful that I hadn't given them enough, or I hadn't. Well, turned out
given them too
I'd
much.
Scored in like every category.
High distinctions.
High distinction.
HD for the ADHD.
HD. I got 9 out of 9 for the symptom categories.
You're always an overachiever.
And then, yeah, I know. And then it was funny. It was like, oh, you had to make a score of like 46. I don't know what it was out of.
Yeah.
You had to make a score of 46. That's the threshold.
Yeah.
I got like 68. And so I'm assuming it's out of like maybe 80 something. Maybe. It could have been out of 100. I don't know. But that doesn't make any sense. That would be like if you scored over 40 out of 100, then you've got ADHD. I wouldn't have thought. I would think it would have to be higher. Anyway, point is,
you're neurodivergent.
Yeah.
We call ourselves a neurodivergent podcast now.
No, we're neurodiverse because you're neurotypical.
Typical.
I know. The language is I wish that you could say something like, this is a weird thing to say. But you know how people with autism can say they've got the tism? Well, you can't say that with ADHD. It's like, I have ADHD or I'm an ADHDer. But that
you could just say I'm deficient.
I'm deficient.
In lots of things. I've got the deficiency.
I've got the deficiency.
I've got a deficiency too. It's just iron deficiency. Easily fixed with an infusion. Or probably not. I don't respond well.
So I get so then I this meeting, she basically said like, oh, we could go through all this, but you're going to get a printout anyway. So I was like,
that's
great.
Enough. Yeah.
And then she let us go. So we had to sit back in the waiting room. Then I had to see the psychiatrist. So then just waiting, go in. He's like, so you've had your meeting with, whatever the nurse was. Sorry, can't remember her name.
It's irrelevant to you.
It's probably the deficiency. Anyway, and then he goes, so you have ADHD? I'm like, yeah, well, like
where's
I
my
fucking
medal?
don't. Yeah, come on.
I scored high.
It's cost me a fortune for you to give me the nod. That's it. Anyway, and then gave me a script and off I went. We went for lunch and had a really nice lunch at the Termy.
Whoa. I like a Termy lunch.
And then I get my script. I'm like holding on to my script for medication. And he's like, you have to take it in the morning. I'm like, but it's 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Like, I have to wait until tomorrow. Like, I've been waiting so long. Anyway.
And then in true deficiency style, you took your very first tablet and then went to work for your very sure keeping in touch shift.
Yeah, yep.
And then you're like, I don't know if it's working, but she's like incessantly sending messages. She's like doing lots of things, more connected than she's been in weeks. And then says,
I'm like, I don't know if it's working, but my brain's been really quiet.
She's like, it's just so quiet, but I'm still singing.
Yeah.
Do you remember
I'm like, this song? Yeah. I'm out of love, set me free. So I can't remember this girl's name, but I remember the song I had in my head 3 weeks ago. Yeah.
Anyway, well done.
So, I mean, the meds still leave a lot to be desired.
Yeah.
I think I must be severely fucked up because I need to increase my dose and all
Also,
that
very
shit.
small dose.
Very small dose. And there's room to grow. There's room to improve. But I'm hopeful.
Yeah, good.
I feel, although
The hyperfixations haven't stopped.
I
I
did.
feel like you've escalated. I should apologise to everyone that she messaged on Instagram about getting an agency job. She wanted to travel around Australia in a caravan with 2 toddlers and a husband
Yeah,
doing ages.
that sounds good. I still, mate, I maintain.
But I did think I sent a message and said, as Dr. Phil says, if it's a good idea, it'll still be a good idea in 3 weeks.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll revisit. My husband wasn't that keen.
I'll leave him home
He's so
with the kids.
boring sometimes. I told him
They're
that.
always boring.
I said, what do you think would be better for our family? Doing this trip or mediocrity? No, and I said monotony. You know what he said? Monotony. Yeah.
Because it's too hard for them.
Boring.
Too hard.
Be exciting. And I said, this life is great, but it's not enough.
He's
and
like,
you know
let's
what I
just
feel
wait
like?
till this ADHD
I know,
hyperfixation
and
wears
that's literally, this is my life, Kelly. Even with medication, apparently.
It's okay though, so long as you don't act. You talk to the board of directors before you act or buy tickets or get your house appraised or purchase a caravan. You talk to us first.
The board of directors is the name that our Snapchat group has with our friends who are also
filtered
nurses.
onto every group chat on every platform now.
That's funny. I did not know that. Yeah, anyway, I just
So we
feel
have
like
to consult the board of directors before we do anything.
I don't know how I didn't know I had ADHD. I swear, like 8 years ago, I went to a wedding and I decided at that moment that I was going to become a veterinarian. At that moment, at a wedding, I'm like, fuck me, mate.
Did they have
Fuck me.
like a petting zoo or something there?
No, nothing. I was just talking to someone about all the great things they'd done in their life or some shit. And then I'm like, I've done nothing with my life. My life is just in a constant state of needing improvement. And that's literally how I live my life.
Yeah.
I wrote journals. I reckon I wrote 3 full journals about how I was going to live 7 lifetimes in my one lifetime. And, you know, I just have this perpetual, like, I don't know, it's like relentless feeling of life is short and one lifetime just isn't enough. Like
ADHD.
this is still medicated me. This scares me. And do you know the thing is,
I'd like to message your psychiatrist and just say, I'm going to send in this episode
Up the
and
dose.
say, can she double it or triple it?
I've just doubled it, so we'll see what. I mean,
But it's okay to have those thoughts as long as they don't consume you.
but
or
they
ruin your
become
marriage.
like intense desires, and that's
We
the
should have
problem.
sometimes to just clean or
That happens, but those, you know, when you said to me, Kelly, Kelly sends me this lovely insensitive message the other day when I was clearly spiraling about wanting to travel Australia. She goes, how about you just focus on writing the union speech? That would be great.
She's like, Kelly, the thing with ADHD is you can't choose what your brain focuses on. I was like, oh, I hit a nerve.
No,
I hit a nerve.
I thought it was funny. I'm like, this bitch is out of touch. I'm like, how dare she?
I knew what I was doing.
I know, it's so funny.
We've been writing the speech for the ASA ANMF and we've been talking about times that I've sent her inappropriate or insensitive messages. Like when she was about to go to court. Which was quite, I'm not laughing because it was quite a serious day, and I sent her a get out of jail free card from Monopoly in a text message. And
You're
the
a
chance
shit
was that-
friend.
like, I don't think there was any chance of you going to prison.
You would
But-
be the only person, also the only person who would ever do that. Like, and I think, and I loved it. It was my favourite thing that happened that day.
Well, I just feel like I need to lighten the mood. Like you're about to go and find out whether you're going to get a criminal history or, you know, like all these awful things from an accident. I was just like, what can I say? That might make her laugh.
Or maybe make the other prisoners laugh.
Yeah, well, I did promise to bake you a shiv in a cake.
Yeah.
If you required it. And also I did ask if you could ask the judge if you did have to go to jail, if you could go to one near a winery to make the trip worth it to visit you.
I forgot about that. Funny.
Anyway, that's just how we roll because we're nurses. Well, I'm glad you have an official diagnosis of the deficiency.
I'm glad you have ADHD.
No, I mean, it is who you are. Like, it doesn't change anything. It's not like you're, you know, it's just who you are.
It's so funny because Mick, I said to Mick one day, he was like, oh, when you know, let's see when you're on medication, blah, blah, blah. And he'd say a few things and I'd say, you really think you're getting a whole new wife, don't you? Like, you really think you're getting a whole new person coming home.
This shit wears off by the night time.
I know, it's so fun.
You're going to come home to the worst of me.
Literally. And like, but I think the problem was though that I had this perception that suddenly I would be able to study. I think that was what
What did you sign up for?
Your face. Nothing. I have not signed up for anything yet. No, I'm kidding. But I thought that it would be like my brain would be tapped and it would be like a switch would go on and I'd be on fire for, you know, 6 hours or 8 hours, however long, and then I wouldn't. It's not like that. And I think I misunderstood. I think I'm in a few forums and like a lot of people talk about their first experience being on stimulant medication and they're like, oh, I didn't know this is how other people function and really raving about it. Whereas my experience has been far more subtle and like, so I'm still hopeful because I am having some positive effects from the medication, but I'm also not having as much as I would have hoped.
Yeah.
But
it's just a learning curve.
Yeah, and I think it's just going to take time, and I have to, you know, that's so you know
how to
the
harness
bullshit.
that.
These people who have ADHD who can't handle waiting for anything have to wait so fucking long.
I know. It's like the system's flawed for you guys.
It is, and it also costs so much money.
Christ.
They're like, oh, let's do. If you want to join our group therapy for ADHD, it's $1,000. Like,
we'll give you group therapy.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't need therapy. I did therapy for years. And
my chair.
Kelly's chair is so broken and she just tried to prop herself up on this handle that does fuck all. Anyway.
It's because my hip is like absolutely killing me. I went to the osteo.
Yes, my osteo that I love. Yes.
And I'm sure she'll listen to this because she listened to the last debrief just as I walked in the door. And she's like, oh, this is a little weird because I feel like I know you, but you've never met me. And I was like, that's okay. I feel like I know you.
At least she's acknowledged it.
Yeah.
Most people just start talking to you like they're your friend.
And then I realised, she's like, do you have, I didn't quite realise that you had to take clothes off, right? So I was like, she did leave me leave my pants on, which thank you, please allow me to do that every time. But she's like, take your top off. Do you have a bra that unclips? And I was like, oh, I'm just wearing like one of the like a mesh crop top.
Oh, fancy girl.
Yeah, and like so it's see-through. So she's like, that's all right, I'll just push it up. So I like lay down.
It's not like going to the chiropractor.
No, well, I don't know, I've never been to anything.
Yeah, well, why didn't you ask me?
So I lay down. She starts doing whatever she does, which is fine.
Some sort of magic. I don't know.
Yeah, she like maybe do things beforehand to like check stuff, and then I lay down and she just did like a lot of rubbing, which did hurt, but she needs to go hard next time. Yeah. I can tolerate it. I think it's not as bad as I thought. And then she's like, okay, roll over. And I was like, oh, well, now you can see my nipples. She's like, honestly, I'm not looking. I mean, I did have a towel across me. And I was like, whatever, it's okay. It's just nipples. I don't really care that much.
It's so funny because the more comfortable I get with her now, I like almost stand there and disrobe just while she's talking to me.
I was like, well, I did get up and put my T-shirt on without worrying about it. Like, like no big deal. But I was like, she's like,
what a time.
She's like, we were talking about everything. We got very deep, very quick. And
it's easy to do.
I know. And then I did apologise when she emailed me later to the next day to check how I was and to email me the exercises. I was like, oh, I'm so sorry that I might have asked you about your, about you. Like, maybe you didn't want to discuss those things with me, given it was the first time you met me. Like, I'm just a nurse. I'm nosy. Like, I'm sorry. I won't do it again. And I just felt like awkward. Like, oh, we really did talk about a lot. And like, I've only met her for the first time. And then
It's easy to get deep with someone who's seen your nipples.
I don't know if she saw my nipples. Yeah. Well, next time I know what bra to wear, I won't be wearing a bloody bra that you can see my nipples in. But yeah, she's like, I really don't know what's wrong with you. I think I'm going to have to get Ryan, who's a chiropractic husband, he deals with all the cognitive stuff. And I was like, is my brain fucked too? Oh my God. But yeah, it hasn't really helped much. I thought it had, but the pain today's been really bad.
So it took me like 3 goes, 3 times before I felt any real relief.
So I'm going to have to do that. And then when you check out and they high caps your private health, right? And she's like, oh, it says to talk to your fund. I was like, oh, that's really weird. Like,
because you're not covered for osteo.
No, I'm definitely covered because Cam covers. He gets his osteo. So I was like, oh, that's weird. Okay, well, and she's like, maybe if you haven't paid. And I was like, but we pay like a month in advance. Anyway, I jumped on my banking app. I'm like, oh, I paid it Monday. Like, it should go through. I was like, don't worry about it. Give me an invoice. I'll just do it when I get home on the app. Well, turns out my payment on Monday got rejected. I was like, oh, how embarrassing. So I had to get onto my health insurance app and pay my monthly fee.
Manually.
And then I had to manually do my own
cool story.
Course. Yeah. Anyway, I thought Cam might have cheated and started using my name at the osteo because he goes like every fortnight.
That's funny.
But yeah, I hope that she does some good because my hip pain and leg numbness and foot tingling is like
it's probably all in your head.
Awful.
Psychosomatic.
Probably is, all the stress I've been under.
Yeah. Do you know when I was at the children's, there was a whole family of this is the strangest thing, but it's it's a real medical thing. I can't actually remember exactly what it was called, but it's a name for psychosomatic illness. And there was a boy, like a 7-year-old, using a cane. Well, his older brother had a cane, and his older sister had a cane, and both the parents had a cane. And it's like it's an anomaly. Yeah, and I mean that's different because it's kind of like ingrained. But with you, but some people if they go through extreme periods of stress, it does cause like a Bell's palsy or like
well, I would have preferred Bell's palsy than
would you?
Pain.
Fuck no.
No, to be honest, I don't know what I prefer, but it's really uncomfortable. Like coming home from Darwin on the red eye.
Oh.
I could have slept because I got a window seat. We got a spare seat. 3 flights, Cam and I. 3 empty middle seats.
That's amazing. That's
really
really good.
High five it.
Do you want to tell us about your trip?
Oh my God, it was so fast. So we flew.
I feel like it was.
We flew to Perth on the Thursday. We did the wedding on the Friday. It was actually really nice. Cam stayed with me at my best friend's house, and because Cam hasn't been back to Perth since 2016.
I was thinking when he came, I was surprised that he went.
Yeah. So we went and had breakfast at the Dome, which was fucking delicious, and then it's like a WA thing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a real not fancy cafe. You could go to the Dome at any dome in Western Australia. You know exactly what you're getting and what it will taste like.
I like that.
Nothing changed. Like, it was perfect for you. No surprises. And then we went to the wedding, which was absolutely beautiful, and I cried. I cried so much, right? So we go to the wedding, and I sit down. Jane's like, oh, do you think we should let other people sit? And I was
Whose wedding was it?
One of my friends, Christy, and her hubby. Her hubby, obviously, now.
Well, and, I thought maybe it was a lesbian. You go to a lot of gay weddings, so I was curious.
No, I wasn't gay. I've been to one gay wedding.
Oh, okay. Strike that. Reverse it.
Flip it and reverse it. And I sat down and I was like, well, firstly, I can't stand for the whole wedding. Like, there's no way. I'm already uncomfortable. Secondly,
what were you wearing? Did you have fancy shoes on?
No, I just had my pink Pumas
on. Oh, you fucking winjo.
Because you can't stand. So
I've already forgotten the conversation we just had.
It's 9:14 at night.
I'm not actually medicated right now. Okay.
And Jane goes, oh, we should leave the seats for somebody else. I said, at the last wedding I went to, half the seats were empty because no one would sit because everyone
yeah.
thought someone else was going to sit. So I was like, fuck it, we deserve these seats. We're old. And there were lots of children sitting in seats, so they could have stayed up. Anyway, as it was, there were a few empty seats everywhere, including some in the front row. So anyway, I said to Jane, oh, my God, I forgot tissues. Well, Christy's mum walks down the aisle with their daughter and I'm sobbing. I'm looking at Anton because you should always look at the husband.
Yes, always look at the groom.
And he's sobbing. So I'm sobbing harder.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure Cam might have cried. Christy comes into his view and he's like a man in love. And I am like, I'm sobbing, right? So I'm like constantly just wiping my face, like fuck the makeup I put on, wiping my face like this. Anyway, we get halfway through the ceremony. We get to the vows. We'd had some laughs. I still just had
You look
tears
like you're still going to cry.
Still just had tears trickling the whole time, but I wasn't crying. We get to the vows. He says the most beautiful vows, and I'm like this, right? The lady behind me taps me on the shoulder, hands me a tissue. I was like, thank you. Then Christy starts her vows in Dutch.
Oh.
Because he's Dutch.
Oh.
All his family's there. All of his Dutch family.
That's so nice.
His uni friends from Dutchland, wherever they're from,
Holland.
Holland, were there. Oh, Anton loses it. His whole family in front of us lose it.
And you don't know what she's saying, but you're losing it.
I don't know what I'm saying, but I'm like, oh, my God, Chrissy.
Oh, that's
Jane
so
and
beautiful.
Cam's like grabbed my hand. He's like, this is love. Chrissy's like, oh, my God. Jane's like, oh, my
I
God.
fucking love weddings.
Then she says them in English because for the English people, obviously, it didn't matter. It wouldn't have mattered. We all knew what
You're
she
all
said
sobbing anyway.
just like whatever. And then it's over pretty fast and like that's all fine. Have photos, catch up with people, beautiful, beautiful wedding. Great reception at a beautiful location, except I'm in excruciating pain. I cannot sit still. There's like high stools. I'm like fidgeting.
You're at a wedding. It's not all about you.
I know, but I stayed
not
as
about you at
long as
all.
I could. I stayed till everybody else was leaving despite being in pain. I drank every cocktail on their list. I got drunk. I paid for every cocktail because I wasn't on their tab.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't care. Drank them all, got really drunk. Ate a pizza that was a ham cheeseburger pizza. It was fucking delicious.
Are you inspired now?
Yep, I am. Next Friday, cheeseburger pizza. No peas on next Friday's pizza. And then the next day we got on the train. I was hungover. Jane's kid, Ollie, made us bacon and egg sandwiches for breakfast, which I had requested.
Oh, yeah.
And he granted, and it was fucking delicious. Then they drop us at the train station and Cam and I catch the train down to where my parents live down south. An hour. I almost didn't make it.
Because of the pain.
Because of the vomit.
Oh, dear God.
I was
You're
so
a mess.
motion sick.
You're a mess.
And Cam's like, are you okay? And I was like, no. And I was like, 3 more stops. But unlike the stops closer to the city that are only like, 2 minutes apart, these are not. It was like a 20-minute between that stop that I was like, we're in trouble, and our stop. Get off. I said, Dad, I need a coffee. So Dad picks it up and he's like, that's okay. We've got to go to the shop anyway. I was like, excellent. Getting a coffee. Went, hung out with my family. Everyone come over. We had tacos for dinner. Had the best night.
So your brother's birthday?
Yeah, so it was both my brothers. One of my brothers turned 30 a couple of days before, and it was that day was my brother's youngest brother, Sam's birthday. So we had 2 ice cream cakes.
I saw that.
And my stepmom bought Lachlan for his 30th. I'm sure they gave him a different present, but bought him for his 30th and said, please don't ever say I never bought you a gun. He's the police officer, Lachlan. Bought him a toy gun set, like a toy police set. So the only photos I have of the birthday, my stepmom has a gun, but it looks like she's shooting it into her mouth, but she wasn't. She was just like posing with it.
Funny.
Anyway, they're so dumb. We got drunk on mojitos. And then we had to get up very early the next day to get to the airport. But my dad made me bacon and egg breakfast.
Nice.
Yeah,
3 days
7
in a
o'clock
row.
in the morning. I know. And then we go to Darwin.
And then you had breakfast and done.
Yeah, bacon and egg.
Another breakfast.
On a brioche English muffin.
Oh, no.
Level up.
Whoa, okay.
Freaking with kale, garlic kale
No
on
thanks.
it. It was actually
I'm out.
delicious.
Kale, no, you lost me at kale.
Anyway, we went to the Mindle Beach markets and I was so hot. It was 35 degrees and I ate laksa.
Yeah, I know. I made fun of you for that.
It was fucking delicious.
It would have been.
Anyway, then we came home. And then...
But you did see friends up there, didn't you?
We did see friends. And Cam, you know, we cuddled their little baby and Cam...
Wants another baby.
Always looks so clucky when he's, like, with them. And I always think...
You're like, this shop's shut.
Gross.
Fuck off.
And then, come home to, like, disaster at work. But that seems to be a story of my life. So that's okay. We don't mind.
Live, laugh, toast above. What?
I think I just found the... Don't tell Cam.
What?
I think I just found the birthday card that he said he bought for me.
Look
what it says.
You're still hot. It just comes in flashes now.
Because we've still got his Mother's Day card here, right? Because we forgot to give it to her on Mother's Day. But look what his Mother's Day card says.
Oh dear God! For Cam's mum.
Cam's mum.
I'm not on meth or dead, so you can call my level to success. Fuck, where did you get these from?
He got them from greetingsfromhell.com.au.
There you go.
Feel free to
There's a little
sponsor
plug
us.
there. They're pretty funny.
Yeah.
So while you were doing all that, and I was busy getting diagnosed that I wasn't just cuckoo, Lachlan nearly nearly choked to death.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something else. I forgot about that.
Did something else happen?
Well, he's like standing.
Oh yeah, that too. Fuck. This
so
kid, I can't keep up.
Alisha will tell you the choke to death story, which is absolutely horrifying. But then the next day, she sends a Snapchat of him like making noise and standing, and I was like, shit, a near-death experience really made him realise he had to get on with his life.
Yeah, so he's like pulling himself up now. Mind you, he's literally 7 months and 10 days today.
Yeah.
And he's pulling himself up, trying to walk.
He'll
He
be off
pushes
soon.
things around like it's fucked. I can't. I'm just going with it.
Yeah, you have to. What are you going to do, push him
know.
over every time?
Oh, people say that, and then like I could restrain him a bit more, but I won't. Like
No.
no. So I feel
Let him
like
free.
No, and he loves it, and he's so he's careful like Ollie, but he is more confident. Yeah.
That's because he's a boy.
Yeah, I know. So anyway, Tuesday comes, had a great morning at dance. I'm like, we're going to go home, making myself some lunch, and Lockie's just sitting in the high chair next to him, and I've just given him something to like suck on. Next minute, he breaks a bit off, and he's like making this strange noise, and I look over, and he looked okay, but he was like making this horrible noise. So then I've just like tried to scoop something out of his mouth, but I got it out really easy, and I was like, oh. And the next minute, he's like blue and unresponsive. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, there must have been 2 bits in there. Like, how's that happened? Anyway, I didn't have time to think about it because I start giving him like back blows in the chair. And then that wasn't working. And I looked at him and he was like even more blue than he was. So I got him out, more back blows, still didn't work. And like in that moment, I was like, the next step after back blows not working is starting CPR. And like, I never thought I would, weirdly, like I've always had this weird thing about choking. Like my whole life, I've always had this fear that I'm either going to choke when my kids are home and die and leave them there with a dead mother on the floor because I've choked to death. And then I've started Googling, like, what do you do if you're choking and no one can help you? Anyway, you run at your bench with your fist in your chest.
Slam yourself against something.
Anyway, so then he like, there's like a hypoxic reflex in kids where they either go completely limp or completely stiff.
Yeah.
And he went completely stiff. And so my like gut was like, start screaming and someone next door will hear you and they will come and ring in for an ambulance.
Yeah.
So I start screaming like an absolute crazy mother who's about to lose her baby and start CPR on him on the floor. So I must have done like somewhere between 5 and 10 compressions while I'm screaming, somebody help, please somebody help. And Ollie comes like running out like, why are you yelling, Mummy? What's wrong with Lockie? And like I'm just next level hysterical. And this all happened so quickly.
Yeah.
But then after the like those few compressions that I gave, his colour literally returned to normal and he just came out of it. And like he didn't cry, and I'm like, I pummeled him. Like and then I had dialed 000 and they answered, and I was like, my son's just choked, but he's okay now. And then they were asking me questions about his breathing and stuff, and you know what shits me though? Because when you're in the emergency, they're like, tell me the address. I'm like, fuck the address. Like, I need someone to help me. It's so weird because you go through the whole police, fire, ambulance, and then where's the location, and then tell me what's happening. Anyway, so then the weirdest thing though, and I fucking hate myself for this, she goes, I don't know, something like, is he breathing? Is he alert? What's happening? And then I said, I gave him back blows. They didn't work. And I started CPR. And she goes, do not hit him on the back. And I was like, well, that's what I did because that's best practice. That was literally what I said to this woman on the phone. I was so angry and like, full of adrenaline and really like just shocked at the situation that had just happened. And that's when I turned around. I'm like, well, I did because that's best practice. And she was like, an ambulance can't come for an hour. She said, since he's well, we'll ring you in an hour. And I'm like, he's not crying. Like, there's something not right. And she's like, and then she went through the questions again. I'm like, no, he's breathing. He's fine, but he's not crying. And then I think my nurse brain wasn't working because, anyway, the ambulance did come, took them 45 minutes. And I was a bit like, he's okay. This is ridiculous. Like, why is the ambulance even coming? And then I thought maybe he's aspirated, but he would be unwell already. Like, he'd be coughing and like something wouldn't be right. And he seemed fine, like a little bit quieter, but seemed fine. Ambo came and he was like, he took it really seriously and he did everything, and he was like, I really don't want to leave you here. Like, I really think he needs to go and at least have a chest x-ray or something. And I was like, oh, he seems fine. This seems like a waste of time and resources. And he couldn't transport us. We would have to wait for another ambulance to be transported. And I was like, we'll just go. I'll take Ollie's car seat out of the car. And the village really kicked in because I had messaged you guys after I got off the phone to the ambulance. Within 3 minutes, here's Al at my door, like ready to take Ollie wherever Ollie needed to go, just entertaining her while the ambo was there. Like, she was so good. And anyway, Ollie ended up going to Al's place and played with her little girl, and then my mother-in-law picked her up from there.
Well, I messaged Elle, and because I don't know why I messaged Elle, but I messaged her and she said, I'm looking after Ollie. And I was like, well, thank God, because like, I couldn't leave work. I probably would have if I thought it was worse. Like, I was like, oh, fuck. Like, it was awful.
It was just funny how and then here she is. I'm like, holy, okay, great. How nice. Like, it's just, you girls are so good to me. And like, anyway, so we went, like Mick and I drove Lockie, and then I thought I should have waited for the ambulance because if something happens now, I'm going to be in a fucking precarious situation on the side of a highway in the middle of friggin' nowhere. Yeah. Like, I should have waited. But I think the nurse brain in me was like, if I saw this kid at triage, I'd be like, he's well.
Yeah.
So anyway, I guess I downplayed it a little bit because I was like, he's fine. Everyone's going to think, what a joke. Why is this child even here?
Yeah.
No, we got to Shep and saw... And, like, I get to triage and I told the whole story. This nurse was, like, mind blown at what had happened. And he was like, he put his hand on my shoulder and he goes, you know you've just saved your baby's life. And he goes, I couldn't have done anything better myself. Like, you've
I don't know if I would have even thought to do CPR.
Well, so then, no joke, Kelly, we waited maybe 15 minutes and then we got taken into resus. And I'm like, and I said, I knew the nurse in charge, and I was like, this is the only bed you had available, right? And she's like, no. And I'm like, what are we doing in resus? Like, it did not occur to me that, I knew that it was really serious, but I didn't think that it was the after effects were serious. Anyway, and the fellow, they had a face him, and he was amazing. And they were all in awe of me. I had no time to be like, impressed with myself because I was still so fucking shocked about everything that happened. Every time someone said something to me, I just buried my head in my hands, and I cried like the whole way to Shep. I cried while we were there. I cried all the way home. I reckon I cried for 3 days later after. It was shit. But they're amazing, and they said, obviously he was like hypercapnic and was euphoric when he was coming out of this whatever happened. And they said that it was a laryngospasm, and that made so much sense to me. And I'm like, well, that makes sense why I managed to get the piece out and he was still like he still couldn't breathe. And why the compressions worked and the back blows didn't. And I think, fuck, thank God thankfully it was a laryngospasm, and he survived. Like, I literally thought that he was gone. I was like,
have you seen laryngospasms?
I've seen
adults?
one in a child.
Oh, in a child.
Yeah. After like a post tonsillectomy.
Yeah. So I've seen him in recovery, but we also see it quite regularly on patients who have a specific chemo that becomes cold. They get like a cold neuropathy from it, right? So often if they walk out from a warm oncology unit into the cold Victorian cold,
oh my God,
their throats spasm, or if they drink a cold drink or something, they get it in their hands but also their throats. And we just teach them it's not a true occlusive spasm. It's like a laryngospasm, but it's not an occlusive one.
Right.
And we tell them to like breathe into their like warm hands to get that warm air in.
Yeah.
But it's very, very scary for
so
people.
Scary. And like the one that I'd seen in a kid, I was a grad and I was recovering this kid, and I normally, when I recover a kid, I will sit on their bed or I'll like sit on the floor next to their bed, and just so that when they wake up, I'm like right there just kind of talking to them. And I remember he was like slowly waking up, and then next minute it was like his chest started rising, but it looked like he I don't know, it looked like he was choking.
Yeah, exactly.
And I remember being like, there's something not right. Someone come, like, what's going on here? And then the anaesthetist just happened to be standing by, and then they just give like positive airway pressure and usually otherwise the alternative is to resedate them and tube them in, I think.
Well, you did amazing.
I can't say to myself that I did that. Why?
Because
I went home and I was like, I saved his life.
You did. You literally saved his life.
And I don't know, I'm just grateful.
Yeah.
I can't even be happy about it. Like, you know what I mean?
And this is like a perfect example of what we talk about, like with humour in challenging situations. It's not funny for you yet. Like, I'm not going to crack any jokes other than they're like, oh, he's, like his little life flashed before his eyes and now he's walking everywhere because things, fuck it, I've got no time to waste. But, like we understand. None of us have any understanding about what you went through, but we as a parent can understand that fear of wanting to lose, of possibly the thought of losing a child, right? We haven't seen it in front of us, but this isn't your first child that's choked on you.
No.
Like, what the fuck are they doing?
I know.
Can we just tell them to stop?
Yeah, I've tried. We had words.
But tell them what Ollie did to you when you were waiting.
Oh, my God. Okay, I forgot. I kind of forgot about this. So I'm off the phone to the ambulance and Ollie's like full of questions, and we go down to our front room, which is my bedroom, waiting for the ambulance to come, and like I'm sobbing, holding Lockie, and Ollie's there giving me a cuddle, and she holds my face and she goes, "You're such a brave girl, Mum." And I was like, oh, like I just want to cry thinking about it now. It was such a beautiful moment. And I'm like, I don't know. I was so proud of her too. She did not get hysterical. She did not cry. She had some questions, but Kelly, the sounds that were coming out of me, the screams that were coming out of me. Yeah. And then she'd said to Elle later, like, Mummy was saying, help me, please, somebody. She wanted somebody to come and help bring an ambulance. Like, she had a full understanding of what was going on. Probably didn't understand that Lockie was like nearly cooked.
Yeah.
But like, we talked about it afterwards, and then she brought it up with Elle and then again with her nan. But the next day, like, we talked about it again, and I just wanted to, like I said, do you want to ask me anything? Like, are you okay? Were you sad? And she was like, just Mummy was. She thinks that the ambulance came because I was yelling, which I think is quite cute. But she was great, and she enjoyed seeing the paramedic.
Yeah. She also told Lockie you need to apologise for upsetting you.
Oh yeah, she did. You say sorry. You say sorry to Mum. He's sorry, Mum. She's just so beautiful, and in those moments you just think how grateful you are.
Yeah.
And this is like. I said to Mick, even though Lockie did try to die, I'm really grateful for our family. That, we've got happy, healthy kids.
And we should take that time and go around Australia in a caravan.
So when I brought the funniest thing, Sarah, who's our palliative care consultant nurse friend, who she did an episode, if you listen to it, she's amazing. Passion for palliation. She turns around and says, she goes, the amount of patients that I see that are about to go on their, big adventure, they're going to go travelling Australia and then they find out they're dying. She's like, just tell him that. And I'm like, actually,
I might.
That would be the best argument. And she goes, yeah, just tell him to come for a day with me.
Ride along.
Yeah, ride along.
Palliative care ride along.
I said to Mick, I'm like, do you know, Sarah said this. And he goes, what are you trying to say? That I could be dying? I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
That was not the point.
Oh, that's so funny.
If anything's going to motivate this guy to do something, it's his mortality. Didn't work.
Oh.
Try again. If you've got any convincing arguments for my husband as to why we should travel Australia.
I don't have any convincing arguments against it.
No.
To be honest.
Me neither.
You got to do it while they're young. It's too late for me now. Amelia's high school next year. There's no way she wanted to
You'll just do it when you're a great nomad.
Grey nomad.
Yeah.
Great. I'll be a great nomad.
Why?
Not grey. There's no way I'm going to be grey.
You're on your way.
Wow. Okay. Well, I can't talk any longer. I am very glad that Lockie is fine.
Me too.
And as cute as ever.
It's so weird though. I fully went into depresso mode.
No.
And I was like, I didn't want to do anything. I was like, that's it. I'm cooked. This is the end for me. Can't function any longer. I was catastrophizing pretty badly.
Yeah. The deficiency really got you. Didn't let you out of it.
It was all right though. I'm all right though.
Oh yeah?
Yeah. Yeah,
okay.
I feel okay about it now.
Okay.
Why? You don't look
I
convinced.
just want to make sure you are.
Yeah, I am.
Good.
I feel like, I don't know. They say with time things feel better. And, and I don't get the I do. It's hard giving him solids.
Yeah. You had a picture in the board of directors chat with the piece of toast, and you're
Tempting
like, he's
fate.
sick of purees now.
He won't eat the purees anymore. He's like, Mum, I've had enough. Because after that night, I'm like, we'll just get back on the horse.
Yeah.
I gave him a chip. We went to Nando's and I gave him a chip. He fucking starts gagging. And Michael's like, can we please not? We're going to go back. So he's been on
Nando's.
very soft. Yeah, I tell you what, it was the biggest waste of fucking money.
I've been to Nando's.
Haven't been to Nando's for years, and we settled on Nando's because I was like, haven't been to Nando's in
Barker
so
Love,
long.
For God's sake.
Yeah, well, I know.
Just down the road,
so,
better.
Greasy. Anyway.
Barker Love?
Yeah. And
No.
it's fully American. Anyway. Anyway,
delicious.
it's delicious, but whatever. Went to Nando's because it's all we could settle on, and it was quick. We wanted something quick so we could go home and get. Ollie ended up staying at her nan's, but anyway, waste of money.
Should have just got Dirty Bird.
I spent $25 on my meal. $25 on my burger with this tiny, it would have been 100 grams of chicken breast, and it was so thin. And I'm like, what the fuck? And it came with a side of chips, which was minimal, and then a drink. And they had nothing in the fridge. They had no 600 ml drinks. They only had, but I'm like, I want the big chips. Anyway, so I won't be going back to Nando's.
I wish we had
I
grilled.
was really disappointed. There's one in Echuca.
Is there? No. There's no
used to
grilled
be.
in Echuca.
Oh, I swear there was.
There is a good burger place though, Brew Burger.
Oh, that's what I'm thinking of. Anyway,
Should have
so
just got bloody McDonald's for $25.
No,
She
'cause
could have
we
got a
wanted to-
McFlurry.
we
and
wanted
a
to dine
bloody
in,
chicken
and
nuggets.
I didn't want to dine in at Macca's at 9 o'clock at night because it's a bit rough.
Right. Well,
Anyway,
I'm glad everything's okay.
me too.
I'm happy that you're deficient
Me too.
and I'm typical. And
Typical.
if you're a nurse, EN, RN or midwife,
Student
nurse, please register for the ACET nursing event for June 5th. We are talking there.
It's going to be pretty special, actually. I'm excited about our content and it's really special.
It's going to be a good day. Lots of things on how to get get yourself prepared for the grad program, how
And
to
grad
apply
match.
for the grad, mock interviews, catered lunch.
I know that's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah. And then you get to listen to us at the end of the day. Tell you our tales of finding humour in challenging situations.
And we're actually talking about things we don't really talk about on the podcast.
No, I don't think we've ever touched on some of the stuff.
No.
It's really good, actually. We
It's
put a lot of
special.
work into it. And I think if you're a student, the event itself is worth going to, and we're just the icing on the cake.
Mm-hmm. The cherry on top.
Yeah. We are the chocolate on the cappuccino or the tequila in the soda water.
Lame.
We might be the ice.
Yeah,
We're the ice in your ice latte. I'm the avocado on your sourdough.
Yuck.
Maybe I'm the sourdough to your
That's
avocado.
an acquired taste.
I love it. Can you
what
make
do you
me a
reckon-
bacon and egg
What do you reckon
McMuffin on
catered
Saturday?
lunch even means? Do you think it's like wraps?
I don't care what it means. It means free.
It means. Do you know what I'm not looking forward to about that day?
The drive.
Getting up at 5:30 to do my
mate.
hair and makeup.
She's like, I want to get my makeup done. I'm like, firstly, I'm not. And secondly, at 5 a.m. because we have to be on the road by 6:30.
I know.
Probably 6 o'clock at the
I
asually.
know, 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
Oh,
I'm
fuck,
going
I'm going to have to get up so early.
I'll drive. You can drive yourself to me and then I'll drive you.
Yeah, I was going to stay the night, but it's not going to work because it's midweek.
I know,
and,
it's awkward. I have to work the next day.
Yeah, when I had a hotel booked because I was like, I need it after just, I don't know. It's been a big month. And
Would
already.
you like to just spend a night away but together, but we don't talk? We only talk if we want to, and we share a platter, but we just go somewhere like Bright or something just for a night.
That sounds great.
Just the two, I don't care. The girls can come too, but there's no effort made, no planning. I just book a night. We just go.
Yeah.
Because I need to go too.
And I don't have to talk to you.
We don't have to talk. We can just sit in comfortable silence.
When we literally said we're going to do a debrief for 10 minutes and it's been 47. So good luck to you. Sounds fucking awesome. I found a beautiful hotel in Melbourne too and I had it all booked and then Nick was like, it's really not going to work. I can't. He's like, I can cover you for
the
the day
day.
before, the day off, but not the next day.
Yeah. Well, I'm
So-
picking a weekend in a few weeks.
Then I thought maybe I could just go the night before
Yeah.
and just go. Just
Just
go
go. Yeah.
in the afternoon.
Tell them to come home early
Yeah.
and go down there. Do that.
I'm thinking about it. And then I don't
Thinking
have to
about
get
it. I'm
up
not
at
gonna do
5 o'clock. I can get up at whatever time.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, we'll do that. Just time to come home, get down there for as it is, you can't check in till 3 most times and check out at 10.
Yeah,
so it's
that's true.
such a
So
waste
it
of
doesn't make a
time.
difference. But it'd be nice to just go and eat Krispy
Well, we're going to go
Kremes.
anyway to see Emma
Shiano. I'm so excited.
I bought tickets.
That's
And I
such a
bought an
nice
extra
surprise.
one because I thought, who might come? Jess. Mm-hmm. Jess might come.
she's pretty excited
And then I
about
booked
it,
us a hotel room, walking distance from there.
Mm.
And
Where is Emma Shiano?
Palais.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's lovely.
Mm.
I did try and get VIP. VIP, but I wasn't.
What does
quick
VIP
enough.
get you just closer?
No, you get to do you get to go early and do an AMA with her. She comes on stage, she does answers questions, she talks to you.
What?
You get some merch, and there was
special.
also a meet and greet one as well, so you got to meet her. But Cam and I did the VIP when she came last time. We got a bag and a book, and we got
is
to
that why you've
sit
got
in
that book there?
and watch watch. I think she did a sound check on one of her songs, and she talked to us, and we got to yell out some questions, and it was really fun.
Yeah, cool.
Anyway, I think it's going to be fun. Anyway.
I'm excited. She's almost been the out of
This
me.
show is like
Instigator
her
of
like
my-
neurodivergent show. So
Yeah.
the show I watched was about her her dead baby. It was her one where she was because she basically had a miscarriage and nearly lost her marriage, wrote a musical about it, and then went and toured it.
Oh my God.
But her marriage is fine and now she has another baby.
Wow.
Yeah. And she was on like it was Raging Rainbows. It was absolutely like
Next level.
You could just see her brain. So I'm excited to see this one when she's in the next phase of like no longer working in radio, neurodivergent, like doing all the things that she's always wanted to do. Yeah, and the tickets weren't that expensive. She's so reasonable.
That's good.
I really wanted to do I really wanted the VIP.
That's good because you paid for mine.
I know, that's my little like, yay, you're deficient.
Happy deficiency day.
Happy deficiency. So if any other listeners are going, actually, I do want to thank everyone that slid into our DMs. The support that Alisha got on her story, like the DMs were
So
insane.
nice.
You got so many and like genuine people like supporting you and like sharing their stories and like just.
It's
Like,
just
welcome
been so
to the
reaffirming.
clubs and,
Yeah,
like-
it's just been so affirming. It's been so nice. Yeah, well, the butt doctor
doctor.
was like something like, one of us. I don't even know his name.
Brad.
Oh, Brad.
I think
Thanks, Brad.
I don't quote me on that.
Just a few of my favourite people too, and then a few like people that I haven't really engaged with, and then a few people like with some really nice advice or like someone had sent like, make sure you listen to this podcast, like the Neurodivergent Woman podcast has been really eye-opening for me as well. Like there's just been some really great suggestions and so much support and a lot of love, and it's just really nice. I feel like I'm in a little community now.
Where's my community? Why am I
Next.
left out? What about me? What about me?
Your community is the
Isn't
white
fair.
privileged community.
With the neurotypical brain. Okay. Shit. I'm just your average anxious white woman with my iced latte and my avocado on top.
What could be more typical than that?
Right, we have to
That
go.
country music. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the new Morgan Wallen. Oh my god, the new
with
Taylor
Post
Swift album.
Taylor Swift.
I'm obsessed.
Actually, I need
love
to
it.
listen to it. I can't.
The new-
You know what? Back in the day, I would listen to an album start to finish.
Ooh.
Now it's like 20 seconds. That's not my song. Put Wheels of the Bus on. That's how it goes in my house if I'm trying to listen to a fucking song. And then randomly, Michael plays Miley Cyrus Flowers, and Ollie was like, "This is Mum's favourite song."
Is he trying to send you a message?
No,
with
he
that
just,
song?
No, he just played it in the shed one day with him and Ollie.
Oh.
It was like on, and then she was raving about how that's my favourite song.
Oh,
I'm like, yeah, if I could fucking listen to it, like I haven't
my
listened to
favourite
it.
song was Wheels on the Bus,
I haven't
mate.
listened to it in 8 months, but sure.
It's when your Spotify wrap up is like all your kids stuff.
My Spotify wrap up is Jonathan Groff, and if anyone doesn't know who that is,
No.
it's the guy who played Kristoff from Frozen.
Oh,
So, and he's also an incredible Broadway musician. He
Yeah.
played King George in Hamilton. Anyway,
never seen it.
Okay. Anyway, he's amazing. It's him,
Yeah,
Justine Clark,
yeah. I love Justine Clark. She's my favourite.
and I'm trying to think
kids
of
show.
who else it might be now.
Probably the Wiggles.
No, Ollie hates the Wiggles. Because they got
Did
rid
you
of
see
Emma. And now she's like, they're different. They're new people. Where's Emma? Sorry, kids of Australia.
All right, we're gonna go. I gotta go to bed.
Can't leave this unfinished. The happy song.
Oh, Christ.
Baby Crack. It's the best.
Baby. Good.
Great.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye.